How can I apply bronzer and blush and they each show when I put my blush over my bronzer goes away? Let me show you exactly what to do to have both of these products show up on your skin. First of all, there's a high chance you're simply not using enough product. Make sure you go in with your cream bronzer. I'm using the Makeup Revolution one. It actually shows up and you just place it down first. Let it just sit there. Might look a little bit crazy. And remember, bronzer goes on the high points of your face where the sun would naturally warm you up. So like the sun would hit me here, it would hit me on my forehead or down my nose, maybe a little bit on my chin. Now that I've got all of this on, I'm gonna blend it out. But you don't need to over blend. You still want it to show up. Obviously you want it to be seamless, but if you blend it too much, it's gonna disappear. That's all blended, and see how it is all seamlessly blended, but you can still very clearly see where I applied the bronzer. Now, take your cream blush. I'm using this CoverGirl one. And again, you want to apply enough that it actually shows up. And I'm applying it slightly higher than my bronzer. And that way, by not applying it to the exact same spot, you will see a clear difference of the bronzer versus the blush. So the blush goes just a little bit higher, right on top of your cheekbone. And personally, I like to bring it down to the apples of my cheek and even slightly towards the under eye. Now, for the most important part, and I think this is where a lot of people go wrong, why it doesn't show up, you need to set these products in place to increase the pigment and make them last. We're going to do that with powder bronzer and powder blush. I always start with my powder bronzer, take it on a big fluffy brush, and we're just going to go over the same spot where we applied our cream bronzer. Take your blush, and I promise you, you will see a very clear difference between the blush and the bronzer if you follow this technique. That's all done now. Let me show you where I applied each product. So we can very clearly see the bronzer across my forehead. We can see it down on my chin and my nose. And then we can see this bronzed middle cheek. And then the blush is clearly on top of it, going slightly further down to the apple of my cheek. And that's how you have both of it show up. I hope this made sense. If you still have questions, just drop me a comment and I will try to answer your question and explain it as well as I can.